Just all right. Gonna have some. Yeah, but I can't do it. Be chilling for a while. Up some movement speed. Experience. Oh, excuse me. I also want to get my experience pickup. I'll be back. Dragonfly thing is the next mini boss. Heal. Shoots around you, so you have to be careful moving. Kind of slow. Ouch. If I accidentally walk into the basic enemy. More experience pickup. Health is up there in the top left corner. I have 3 hits. One. My newest build, our newer build. There we go. There's the good stuff. Alright, now I'll pick up any experience that I can see with it, since I don't have to do as much walking. And since my bullets already make light, it helps me pick up basically experience all over the map. Ooh, that was a little close. I don't know where that guy came from. I might want that later. Stand there, get hit by this again. Yeah. A slight bit, please. Alright, now I have to move. Oh, there's dodge. My experience can be. That engine is going. I just have to focus on damage. First boss. I said that, but I think I'm gonna pick this up. So reduce my max life, but because I'm already down a couple of health points, it doesn't actually cost me anything other than an empty bucket, empty heart, which can't really heal anyway. Right. Get level 20. There it is. Now I get damaging enemies, increase the damage they take from bullets. So now, as long as I keep hitting him, he'll take more and more damage. So he will start to melt. Very quickly. As long as he doesn't hit me and kill me. He will if I... Now I can keep moving. Where this build starts to get insane, if that stacking damage means basically anything I focus will eventually start to be shredded. Any damage it takes, so even things that do bonus damage start to stack it. Electricity is fine. Also wouldn't mind a little bit more protection because I'm also kind of issues that go with that. Okay, so after killing a boss, you get a mutation, which is a bonus, but it also is like both good and bad. So the first one I'm going to start with is increase in fire rate every minute, but I keep up a little bit of movement speed, which is fine. For a time that attack speed will pay dividends. Those red shots are enemy shots that I want to dodge. Little bead ones are coming from those little scorpions you see sometimes. Pretty slow shots. The moon-shaped ones are the ones that are a little bit more dangerous, so next thing buff. Because they're fast. So I'll pick up this load projectile so that they move a little slower and give me more time to dodge. I'm going to get rid of this. Individual shots aren't going to deal much damage, and that ability was based off of bullet damage. The thing is that my bullets stack up damage over time. They'll get strong enough, but not strong enough to warrant spending level up getting. One of the things to get better at this game is that just because upgrades sound good doesn't mean it's actually good for what you're doing. It's gonna be a little annoying because they like orbit you, and I'm saying them to be a bit of pain. Probably definitely pick up some additional bullets. Actually, that would help. One of those guys. The lightning effect you see on enemies means that they take bonus damage for their next hit, and since I fire so quickly, they take that bonus damage very often. So it's a nice boost to my damage. I need some more movement speed and ways to slow them so they don't run me over. Starting to get a little sketchy about that. Take this. Movement speed plus enemies that walk into that little circle around me will be slowed and will take bonus damage. If they get close, making it easier for me to kill them, while also making it easier for me to move around. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Getting tired of that mini boss. This next one comes along. Damage could be better. That guy shoots projectiles when he dies, which can be a little annoying. Or movement speed would be pretty good. Let's take this out. One of my abilities means that every now and then I can deal double damage. You might see them as little yellow shots that come out sometimes. That makes them happen more often, gives me some additional damage. It says that anytime it damages an enemy, it can turn into one. My bullets pierce. When it goes to the first enemy, it has a chance to turn into one of those double shots to hit enemies for more damage back behind them. Back up pretty well. Okay, let's see. Enemy charge round creates an explosion, that's fine. Sure. I haven't been deleting much because I don't know what else I might want later. Out of that stuff. The fire can slow enemies, which can be useful for me to save. At the very end, it also gives me bonus damage to anything that's on fire. Nice. You also you saw it kind of shoots in like a kind of X pattern, kind of. If you stay close to it, it doesn't really, can't really hit you. You have to be careful because you can easily walk into it if you're not careful. That's not too big a deal. It's a big long worm. I have piercing bullets, I can shoot all the way down his length, and then because he takes stacking damage from bullets, he dies pretty quickly. That's what I'm doing. Let's see. I don't think I want this. It gives you some damage against enemies that you can see, but most of it's pretty bad for that. This also gives me more damage against things I can see, and a lot more than what that was doing. I think I'm looking for something better, though. That'll do for bullet damage. So is my fire rate, but the bullet damage is very much worth it. Speaking of which, the next mutation is going to increase my bullet damage every minute. Costs us some more movement speed. So just like this for fire rate, but for bullet damage. So over time, I'm just going to keep dealing more and more damage. Good stuff. Oh, okay, guys. Stay close within that, he can't really hit you. Don't walk into his face. That range, no. That range guy died, unless that was a new one. Close. First mini boss now is kinda outside. Quick. Okay. That dinosaur looking thing, or pincer bug looking thing, so those things can be dangerous. Don't want to help. It'll be pretty quick. Okay, more bullet damage, a lot more bullet damage. I'm not giving up fire rate because I'm gaining it every minute, so it will kind of come back. Not that it isn't gone for that, like, to be faster without it, but the damage increase is significant. Especially when my damage stacks up. You can see each of those hits are dealing 200 and some odd damage per hit. As we get faster, it'll be better. Okay, this would cause enemies to be slowed, which would be good. Ricochet can be nice. Has a lot of bullet damage in it, so I'm not sold on getting rid of that yet. But we can find better. This one can be really good, so I'm gonna go with this. So now if I kill enemies within the circle, it can cause a augment. You'll see a kind of special symbol on an enemy to show that it's like augmented. You can see I'm glowing now, so I got the bonus. Killing things too quick to see the thing. But it increases my fire rate and damage for a while. As it gets a little crazier, I'll basically have that up all the time. I'm gonna take that and shred. Ooh, that was nice and tight. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to pick up this for fire rate. Typically you go down to the bottom, but all of these are kind of bad. Because this requires me to stand still. It gives me a lot of bullet damage and bullet size, but standing still is almost impossible. This one gives you a ton of fire rate, but you lose movement speed over time until you, again, can't move. So, I'm not exactly excited about that. This one is like a fire flamethrower that you start doing, but whatever. What I'm doing. It was decent for slow and stuff, but what I want is just more fire rate, so I'm going to pick up this. This one's a little bit more fire rate, but slows you down. I'm not really... yeah, I'm not too interested in that. I want to keep my movement speed. Now with that, we should be pretty good for a while. That was mainly what I've done, is given up a good bit of fire rate, so... Now we should be good. Just for a while. Fire rate also means I stack up the damage even faster, meaning things die faster, and on and on. When spell gets going, it can absolutely shred enemies. guy's a little tricky. It does a front blast, and like you saw, it does also that split blast. This is also really good. Killing an enemy with a charge round temporarily increases my fire rate for 2 seconds. Plus, it gives me more chances for those charge rounds, which are the charge rounds deal double damage. So, really good. Plus, when it goes off, it gives me a ton of fire rate, like that. You can see now I'm firing really fast. So, again, when that goes off, I guess things just kind of get shredded. Which means I fire more charge rounds, which means I can reset that and keep on doing that fire rate for even longer. And start getting the India. With that, we're going to be... keep saying it, but we're going to be pretty good now. Alright, that special thing I kind of needed to really start doing. Other thing that happens, enemies always come at you on diagonals. So you can kind of fire just diagonally from yourself and pretty much hit everything that's coming. Because my bolts pierce, anything walking that way is going to get hit. That first mini boss just got shredded before it even shot. Every time you shoot, fire an extra bullet that has a 100% chance to be a charged round, guaranteeing me that. The loss on the fire rate kind of sucks, but the extra bullet is pretty insane. And the fact that it's always double damage. Crazy. That is our boss. Die before you can fire. Like I mentioned, because of those charge rounds, when I kill with that, I get extra fire rate, so even though I'm giving up some, it helps like guarantee me getting the bonus. What happens to the boss? Be a little careful with spellers. That can be a little crazy. Requires a lot of stuff. You see that little glow on him? That's the augment. But you can see absolutely sure. I am not concerned. Alright, now we really get our damage. So the next one I pick up is Loose Cannon. Deal 150% more damage, but also take double damage. So typically only take one hit, one heart hit. Now I'll take 2. I'll die in 2 hits. But my damage is going to be so high, it's not going to matter. I think it's time to pick up some additional move speed. One of the things that can happen is if you can't move fast enough, you can't get out of the way of enemy attacks, and that's how you'll die. Definitely need to keep your move speed up. But now pretty much nothing should be able to get near us. Trying to fire diagonally, different direction. Also dodge the range shot there now. That was one of the new range shots, that circle projectile. Can be a bit of a pain in the butt. One of the things you can do is deflect shots as a way to get rid of them. You have to get an upgrade for it. But those round ones can't be deflected. So I don't tend to go that route. It doesn't work against that. The other option is when you kill the enemy that fires a range shot, it just dies. Or when you kill the enemy, its ranged projectiles die with it. That's what I tend to go for. It is over here, meter maker. So I'm going to take up this. I need to get this one first though, so now they'll move even slower. Plus I get a little bit more damage. Boss. Dead anyway. Or mini boss, I should say. Those ones that shoot like the damage areas are mini bosses. The bosses are where you see a big old health bar on the bottom of the screen. In that like locked in arena that affected me. The boss got shredded before it can even start up its attack. The last thing I want to do is be able to delete those projectiles when they die. Then I don't even need them. I just stand and shoot. At least for a while. Now I said for the other upgrades that I can't really stand still. I can for a little bit, but once I start getting later in, I can't. It's going to be way too hectic and I have to be almost constantly moving. It's just not going to be useful later. While that fire rate increase is always useful. So that's a deflection. I'm not taking that. This is some bonus damage. I kind of want to find... There it is, the meteor maker. Now we're good. Okay. I shouldn't really need to move anymore. See any range shots just kind of fade off as the enemy that shot him dies. You can see it there on the edge. Shot just faded off. Makes it a lot easier. No boss, got a little bit more health. Your enemies, those kind of like crawling things. Those can get kind of quick. There's another version of those that... No, maybe it is those guys. There's another one that I think I get kind of confused with that's also really fast. Be a little mindful of that. Alright, I'm gonna start picking this up. I take additional damage every 3 times I hit him, and with how fast I shoot, that happens often. That builds towards is an ability that makes them take the damage that they took from those 3 bullets over again. It basically doubles your damage. Plus the additional hits of damage also help my bullets stack faster. So it's not useless for that either. The little bit damage procs are like 15 damage, nothing much. But any damage helps me stack. Alright, 20-minute boss. And I already tell his health is melting, so it's not really much of a trouble. However, it does fire in big areas, so you have to be a little careful. That extra health is nice. It means now I can take 3 shots instead of 2. I'm gonna pick up this one. This one's a little scary because it's gonna make me not able to see as much and move slower, but the bullet damage and fire rate are insane. Okay, there we go. So, it's this one and then the next one. That's what I'm looking for. When outflows inflict on an enemy, they are damaged again by the combined damage of the 3 bullets that triggered it in the first place. So they take big old chunks of damage when that goes off. I see some of those bullets dealing 800 damage. How fast I'm shooting them, it's a lot of damage. That's my new favorite build. The first time I did it with ricochet shots, which makes your shots bounce between enemies. This time I'm doing it with pierce. I like pierce better in a lot of cases, so it's a bit more predictable. The ricochet can be a little unpredictable. You never know what direction it's going. In the dark, it's very helpful. to fire down the diagonals, because that's where I see them coming. So you don't have to see them, you can already know where they're coming from. So my charge shots do make full vision circles. I can see temporarily when those go off. But you don't have to see any of them. Them all. Okay. I want to try this. I didn't do this in my first go of this. It gives up some bullet damage, but it gives you another bullet, which means I can stack faster. If I can hit a larger area. Helpful. I want to just see how this plays out. And overall, it is more damage. Woo! Yeah. Okay. I like it. I like it already. See if I go for another bullet. So this is pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Those little crawlers can get pretty thick. You need to be a little careful. That little dash circle does help slow them when they come near. An extra second to react to them. Alright, with this, enemies revealed in vision take more damage. Because my bullets tend to make vision on them, it can still be very helpful and deal a lot of extra damage. I should be trying to focus on getting the last upgrade I mentioned that deals the damage with bullets again. That's what I really need. You may have noticed at the 20 minutes it said finished, like the game was over. You definitely end there and it counts as a victory, I believe. There is another boss at 30 minutes. Kind of a little bit of a secret, so not much of one that's mentioned in the achievements. They'll say something like, kill the 5th boss, and if you're keeping count, you'll be like, wait a second, I've only killed 4. And realize that there's another one after that. It won't be much of a challenge for us, though. When I did this build the first time, it died in like 10 seconds. A very large target, so it's very easy to just stack up the damage on it very fast. Die. After that, so things get a little hairy. And they just start piling on the enemies. It's also a pretty nasty enemy I'm waiting to see. Let's see. Let me try and get that. There it is. Right. Alright, my damage just doubled. I'm not scared much of anything. There's a nasty mini-boss that should be showing up soon-ish. In another minute or so. Alright, the big old laser beam at you. Be a little spooky. And I'm moving a little slow, so I'm a little worried about being able to dodge that laser. After just rely on killing it before it can hit me. A little bit of a stutter there. I might have to turn off stuff in the background. When I was doing this build before, my computer was not happy. I was starting to stutter. But hopefully it doesn't mess up the stream. Or the stream make my game crash. Either direction. The next thing I want to do is grab some movement speed if I can. Damage is looking really good. That was one of those later mini bosses that has a lot of health when that dies before it even starts the attack. Looking pretty good. Damage is looking really good. Those bug things are very fast. I have to kind of keep on that. Let's see if I can find some movement speed. Want that. I did not find any movement speed. This one's okay. I could take it, but it's not that great. I'll suffice for making them slower. Also means they take more damage while they're in the dark. Like if I hit them in the dark, but with my bullets light up thing, I'm not sure how beneficial it is. The slow is definitely worth it. And for that boss, mini boss that I'm mildly concerned about. There it is. Okay. That was good. Die before it even fire off. You saw that big old red beam. I can go off pretty fast, and if you don't move, you can take damage from it very quick. It'll be more than a couple times, but it still has really good damage, so it can die before it goes off. But if I'm not like looking at it, it could fire before I could finish off. So, looking pretty good. Alright, this point is just making sure I don't get surprised by something moving a little fast. Finish this off. This gives me a chance to also fire a triple damage shot. You'll see them as like little blue shots. You see like blue flashes up from the triple damage. A little bit more damage. Look how fast I fire. Look, I'm out relatively often. Woo! That laser guy again. That mini boss, or that next boss should be showing up at, will show up in 30 minutes, so, or 30 seconds before that shows up, so, really not concerned about him. Really those laser mini bosses I'm most worried about. Catch me by surprise, I could hit. Alright. The boss takes a minute to, or this boss takes a minute to load in. As opposed to the other ones, it's like a lane that you fight in. But you'll see. Watch that one. Goodbye. Oh, that was a second and a half. Not even a second and a half. See? Not even a concern. So shred. Need to be a little careful of that. Your health doesn't matter much, but... Okay, I'm gonna pick up this last one. I don't always grab this, but heal it fully or gain extra heart. The extra heart is nice. It means I can take 4 hits without before I die. The movement speed is huge, and then the experience gain loss does suck. But movement speed is very helpful. I'll wait on that for right now. It combos nicely with this. My bullet damage is increased by the amount of movement speed boosts I get. So That gives me even more damage. But that upgrade gives me more movement speed, but not very quick. Helpful if I get caught by surprise by the laser guy or these other guys that are coming flying in. Now it's just a matter of how long I can survive. Woo! Past that 30 minutes where things get nuts. So now I'll just have to constantly be moving. Nothing. Do a little spin to fire in all the different directions. One weakness this build has is that my damage stacks, so anything that can move quickly and only get hit a couple times could possibly reach me. Woo. Or it can hit me from long range like that does. As long as I'm on top of things, it should be alright. That note I need to get starting to start a little bit. Got time to close things that are going on in the background to minimize. Use. Okay, there we go. Got everything that I didn't need. Okay. Let's see. That's not bad. Go with that. Now we're taking this. We'll go with this. So now anybody that walks into my circle will be slowed. Slows me a bit too, but it slows them more. Look how fast I can kill things even a half second of extra time before they crash into me. Good time to... Woo! Most laser mini bosses are a reaction time test every time. If you don't react perfectly, you will take damage. Big spider enemies are pretty intimidating, but those can handle them very quickly. One of the laser guys be coming along pretty soon. You'll notice that it's almost near constant mini bosses now. That's what starts to happen as the time ramps up. It's really good. A little absurd. We just saw that damage 23,000. There's like that got a little close. This will be good. Enemies that walk into that circle now move even slower. Before it was 15% slower. Now it's, with this, it'll be 30% slower. So just buy any time. When they hit that, they'll basically almost to a stop. It's plenty of time to turn it in. Woo! These are guys. might notice them coming at me from a different angle, like from the bottom and stuff. That's because there's probably so many enemies they're starting to push each other. So they can push them at other angles at you. Especially the bigger mini-bosses. Their big bodies will kind of push enemies around them, or the faster enemies will have to go around them. And they come at you from different angles. It also adds to the difficulty. Because there's so many enemies dodging, like laser beams can be a little tricky later on. Okay, it'll give me some more movement speed. I don't really want this. That would reduce the damage for enemies that are in vision, which I don't want because I put everything in vision. Blah. This is fine, I guess. A little bit more slow for enemies that I hit in sight. Plus gives me a little bit more light to work with. Not stun, but a little bit more. So, in previous builds I would normally die at about 40 minutes. Last time I did this build I got up to 45 minutes. That's a pretty good improvement. But with the changes I've made I might be able to push further. If my computer can keep up. I feel like I should have gotten the extra bullet. Because after that, there's something that makes you fire bullets all around you. It's very helpful for keeping these guys off me. Like little guys. That was kind of my plan for this variation. Holy crap, that's close. Not in the world if I get hit, but I definitely prefer not to, of course. I'll die immediately. I can only take 4, so can't be wasteful. If I would have taken that couple damage in the end, I could have taken additional damage. All of it needs an extra hit. This is very helpful too. Increases that bonus shock damage I've been doing. Plus it deals it to everything, so it can like trigger off of multiple, like on multiple enemies at the same time, dealing a lot of damage. I should just take it. Does help a lot. Stack my damage even faster. Woo! Spooky. They're really the only boss I'm concerned about is that laser dude. The rest melt. Very fast. Kind of bug things just because they're fast. About the only thing I'm concerned about. See that glow I talked about earlier? Pretty much I always have that going. Say that, and it falls off. So should be back pretty soon. There's a big damage boost and a big, kind of double damage boost. It increases my bullet damage and it increases my fire rate as well. Both those are big for my damage. In 40 minutes, and that's when I started to get really insane. noticing too much stuttering, which is good. I think maybe Ricochet might have been enough to make the bed. It also helped that I cleaned out other things behind the... Anyway, I'm gonna take this triple shot. It gives up a little bit of bullet damage, but that area I now cover with my shots is very helpful. You can see it then having too much of an effect on my damage overall. Okay, that was insane. I think I just saw like maxed out damage, which is like 999,000. That was a little silly. Just saw the flash for a second. Yeah, I'm seeing 6-digit numbers. There's enemies. Can't just stack up that fast. If I can get bullet flower, which comes after triple shot, I'll be firing bullets all around me, and it'll help clean up a lot of these little dudes. Got a lot more room, a lot more safety. Also just start stacking damage on even the bosses sooner, even before they get near to me. Already some damage against them. Oof. Didn't react fast enough at all. Those guys turn so quickly too, so if you're like not on them, it will kind of catch you. They're huge. They're like probably the largest enemies, and they can turn very quickly. Those things there. Love it. Go away. Some of those enemies are just kind of like flying at me right now. There's so many. And I think over time they do increase the speed as well. Also just because they have the enemies back behind them that are like pushing them. Okay. That's 41 minutes. Pretty well. Bullet flower, yes, give me that. Let's see, there we go. Now we're firing bullets all around this. Do a lot to keep it safe. So now mainly all I have to do is keep my eye out for those mini bosses like the laser dude. The rest of the little guys should get shredded before they even get close. I'm pretty much chilling from here. Just for a little bit. Oh. A little bit of some lag, but that was actually not a bad time. Before I would actually get walked up and would just start walking sideways sometimes. When you be able to control my character. Just pause to try and get control back. And just because there's so many enemies and so many damage numbers to try to calculate. That's the stacking of damage numbers. I almost got a shot. I think those bullets I'm firing around for me can also be get the double damage. Yeah, it looks like it was triple damage. But it can wind up being quite big hits. Mentioned slowing enemies from my previous upgrades and pretty good. my other builds, I would have already been well overwhelmed by now. I'm dead. Really good. Really get a new high score with this. Definitely like the Pierce better, I think, than the Ricochet. Okay, let's see. I don't really want this because it makes them move faster when they're outside of vision, which makes them come at me even quicker. I would prefer not. Let's see. This could be decent. Give up a little bit of fire rate, but I get some bullet damage, and then they'll explode into bullets when they die. It's based off of the damage they took when they die. So, if I deal a lot of damage, that could be a bit extra. Plus, I met some upgrades down that route that could be really good. Try to get that. Extra move speed wouldn't be bad either. Make sure I can dodge the lasers if I need to. You know, lasers do in a while, so I'm sure one's gonna pop up soon. Speed. There it is. I figured. I'm never gonna be really an instant where I don't have at least one mini boss, if not two, on my screen at a time. Keep an eye out, you'll start noticing they're all in place. It's good for experience, but they have a lot of health, so they also need a lot of bolts. Otherwise, dude, these guys are showing up quicker too. Definitely a new record. I was just like 55 million before that. I'm on 60 now. I haven't lost control of my character yet, so that's good. Oh. Not confused which direction that laser was coming from. Saw the big body and the laser coming from going that direction. Thought that was good. That was good. Dude behind me. A little dangerous. Harry. The lag spike. That's what starts to kill you. So you have multiple bosses attacking multiple areas, and you gotta dodge all of that. Or kill all of them before they fire. Maybe that time I just start walking. And minimize. Please surround me a little bit. Bad habit of walking with the spider's attack rather than against it. If you walk against it, you can sometimes get out of it faster. This is useless. I'm never going to use cone vision. Let me use it a little bit in the beginning, but movement speed would be good. Earlier upgrade also gives me more damage for movement speed, so that is helpful. Some damage, but also just to get out of the way of those lasers. Those fighters have like a rotating area of attack, so if you walk through it, you can kind of get to the other side faster than trying to walk with it and stay out of it. When it catches you and keep walking with it, you'll just get hit. Ooh, Ooh, that was a little sketchy. That laser attack got overlapped with another boss's attack and made it hard to tell what was happening. You gotta chill out, please. They're not going to. We appreciate it. React to that laser, man. Okay, alright. Yep. Another attack. Ouch, got hit. By the beginning of the end. Run. Spider. Other things. Oh. Take a breather. Okay. Problem damage is whatever. I'm gonna try this. I hope it doesn't kill my computer. Every 6 shot damage all enemies revealed in vision by 100% bullet damage. How fast I shoot, this will be going off all the time. It'll help clear up the trash a little bit. I'll help my damage stack faster. Ouch. Look at that. 2 more hits left. Try to settle die before it hits you. What can do? Ow. More hit left. 80 million. There it is. 52 minutes. 81 million. Oh. by far my best. That's how it's done. Just do that. Damage minigun.